Qatar is a small, mostly desert peninsula stretching into the Persian Gulf. Throughout history, the people living there relied mainly on fishing, maritime trade, and pearl diving. Before oil and natural gas, Qatar was not wealthy. It had a small population and was vulnerable to outside powers. After the Ottoman Empire withdrew from the region following World War I, it came under British protection. It gained its independence only after the British also withdrew. Once a poor peninsula surviving on pearl diving, Qatar became wealthy after discovering oil and natural gas. But because it was small, it needed not only money, but also strong alliances to protect itself and global visibility. The path to becoming the unwanted cousin unfolded like this. Saudi Arabia, the dominant power in the Gulf, wanted Qatar to follow its line. But Qatar did not want to remain in its shadow and built its own diplomatic network. This was the first major source of tension between Doha and Riyadh. The family dispute was further fueled by Al Jazeera. It criticized the monarchies of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Bahrain, while giving a voice to their opposition. During the Arab Spring in 2011, Qatar supported opposition groups and organizations such as the Muslim Brotherhood. This alarmed the Gulf monarchies. They saw it as a threat to their existing regimes. While all this was happening, Qatar hosted an American military base, but also had to maintain contacts with Iran because of shared natural gas interests. For the Gulf states, this turned Qatar into an increasingly unpredictable actor whose intentions were difficult to understand. In 2014, Qatar also allowed Turkey to establish a military base. Its distrust of the Gulf pushed it to seek another, reliable ally. At the end of these tensions on June 5, 2017, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Egypt cut diplomatic ties with Qatar. The land border was closed, and the use of airspace and ports was restricted. The goal was not only to punish Qatar, but also to force it to change its foreign policy. Qatar was asked to shut down Al Jazeera, reduce its ties with Iran, close the Turkish military base, and cut ties with controversial political movements. Qatar rejected these demands, seeing them as interference in its sovereignty. Qatar's entire trade network in the Gulf was disrupted. It was a policy designed to force it to submit and align with the others. Qatar's small population was expected to accept the 13-point list of demands, but something unexpected happened. Turkey broke the blockade and provided all the logistics to the Qatari people, whose access even to basic supplies had been blocked. Iran and Oman also opened trade routes for Qatar. Refusing to bow to its cousin's policy of isolation, Qatar opened its wallet in 2022 and wanted to prove itself to the whole world. The World Cup. Seeking a place on the global stage, Qatar built impressive infrastructure and spent hundreds of billions of dollars. However, during the tournament, images of empty stands and spectators leaving early became a global topic. This is how the anatomy of loneliness was born. Yet Qatar still managed to stand firm. Whether you call it the determination of independence or the stubborn child of the family, it somehow managed to carve out its own path despite the costs. Today, however, it is no longer excluded from the Gulf and is respected there. It is one of the few countries capable of maintaining relations simultaneously with the United States, Iran, Turkey, and the Gulf states, remaining in dialogue with everyone. A center for mediation. Perhaps loneliness among the crowds. The comments are yours.